And here to analyze last night's debates is Mayra Macías. She's the vice president of Latino Victory Fund, an organization working to increase Latino representation in government, and also Cesar Grajales from the Libre Initiative, a nonpartisan organization working to advance free market values and empower the U.S. Hispanic community. Thank you both for joining us today.
Thank you.
Mayra, let's go ahead and start off with you. Who won, in your opinion, the battle for the Democratic Party's progressive wing, Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren?
I think there's no doubt in my mind that if Trump wins, Latinos lose. And what we saw last night were these Democratic hopefuls like Senator Elizabeth Warren really pushing the envelope and challenging Democrats to be fearless, but also giving clear, concise ideas of plans that are going to help all Americans, particularly hardworking Americans, and not mislead them like this president has done.
Cesar, can you see any of the more moderate Democratic candidates having any appeal to those Republican voters who perhaps are not happy with President Trump or simply do not support him at all?
Well, actually, last night, I really appreciate when the former Congressman John Delaney mentioned that actually the proposal from Senator Sanders and Senator Warren about health care is not practical, it's not doable, it's very difficult, will increase the taxes not only for rich people, but also for the middle class. So I will say that if I have to pick some candidate from last night, I would say that moment from a former Congressman John Delaney. And I hope that the rest of the candidates in the Democratic Party start listening to the people, because it's presenting solutions to problems like healthcare. It's not just saying that it has to be free, everything. I think it has to be serious about the problem. Everybody agrees that we had a problem in the healthcare industry in the country, but saying that everything free is the solution, I think is not the path. I think it has to be serious, and I think addressing that problem, like former Congressman John Delaney mentioned yesterday, I think it's very important for all those candidates.
Andrea, if I may, because I think that key in Congressman Delaney's points were both Senator Bernie Sanders telling him he was flat out wrong, and also Senator Warren destroying Congressman John Delaney. And I think this is why this was the Democratic primary, right? Because we are here to discuss and articulate visions for bold structural change in our country. And I agree that we can't just throw out ideas without having plans. But guess what? These plans have been thought out, and Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders have both put out plans and laid out a clear vision for how to articulate and achieve them.
Well, now that you're talking about healthcare, I actually want to address this issue because progressives are in support of the idea of Medicare for all, while the more moderates are saying, you know, Americans should also be able to keep their private health insurance plans. And I want to bring up an article that actually came out in Forbes magazine. And in that article, they reveal that in Canada, which has a single-payer healthcare system, over 1 million patients have had to wait for medical treatments over a year, and that has also cost millions of dollars in lost wages because perhaps people who are ill are not going to work, and as a result of that, wages are lost. So, Mayra, with you, how can we guarantee Americans here that that wouldn't happen?
Well, first on that, I want to just point out that the Democrats are the party of not taking away health care, right? Like, we're talking about Medicare for all, and we're discussing various options, which I think is great. Let's talk about the best option that's going to help the most Americans. But let's also remember that the Republicans have tried to repeal the ACA time and time again, and Latinos have the highest rate of uninsurance. And so it is ridiculous to me that we're criticizing folks for putting out plans that are going to help the most Americans when the Republican Party isn't even putting forth a plan. They're literally trying to strip away the health care that folks currently have.
I would say this, it's not just putting together a plan and proposal. I would say is how you can execute that proposal and that plan. And I think that's important when the candidates, again, like a former Congressman Ron Delaney's highlight, is that how you gonna execute something that you promised to the American people tonight. So again, we had a problem in the country with the healthcare system. Of course, it's a problem. But just saying that when the congressman highlight that kind of problem, saying you're grown, it's not a solution because you just don't present a plan. I mean, you have to explain to the American people how you can resolve the problem in the country without actually creating another problem, which we will be increasing the debt that right now is a problem, but creating more, free problems for the nation will increase more the debt in the nation right now.
Cesar, also as a Latino and immigrant, how does the president's ongoing attacks on people of color impact the Republican Party and Latino voters?
Look, I think it's important to focus on the issues. I think the president sometimes have used language that is this unfortunate, and I agree with that. But also we have to focus on the issues, and we have to focus on the economy. The economy is getting better right now, and how is that benefiting the communities? Right now, the unemployment for African Americans and Hispanics are really low. And I think that, yes, sometimes political leaders on both sides, sometimes say things that are unfortunate, but how actually the policies that are presenting are benefiting the community, I think is one of the most important things to be focused on.
Mayra, your reaction?
Well, actually, I would love to direct folks to Latino Victory's accountability website that we recently launched. It's called If Trump Wins, We Lose, where we're actually pointing out that this narrative that Latinos and African Americans are doing better economically under Trump is false. Wages have remained stagnant. There hasn't been an increase. And so I think that if the economy is better as a result of prior administration's policies, like, it is a misleading narrative to say that it is because of Trump. So again, if folks are interested in learning and figuring out the ways that we can hold all of our elected officials accountable, please check out our website, iftrumpwinswelose.com.
Well, the same thing I would say, I mean, I would recommend that the same people who you're asking to visit your website, to visit our website, deliveringinitiative.com, is a website that presents actually facts about reducing taxes and will increase the better economy for all in the country, not just for one segment.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Mayra and Cesar, for sharing your feedback in regards to last night's Democratic debates, and we will wait and see what happens tonight during that second half. Thanks so much and have a great day.
Thank you.